And I do know that I bang on about this a bit, but that's because this is important. Household waste and what you throw out and what you think about what you're throwing out leads to a lot of benefits. Let's talk a little bit about soft plastics. So you'll know that the big rules in our household, certainly to reduce household waste, are these. Firstly, buy clean. Buy things that have no packaging. So you're talking your fruits and your vegetables. Those things that you do buy that have packaging, make sure that that packaging is recyclable, so at least it gets recycled as opposed to getting thrown out, and have a worm farm or a compost or access to one so there's somewhere for all your food scraps to go. That takes care of a huge amount of household waste. So talking about the recycling part of it, one of the recycling parts is soft plastics. Boom. So what we've got here is what I do is I grab a big plastic bag and I start putting all our soft plastics into it. And that would be around about a month of soft plastics, maybe a touch over. It's depressing actually because all of that would have ended up going into the bin. Now, why I accumulate them in a big bag is then the pressure isn't on me to go back to, in our case here, the supermarket to drop off the soft plastics. So every so often I go for a run out in a forest that goes past some soft plastic drop-off points for recycling, which I'm about to do in just a moment. So what I do is accumulate the soft plastics until that point where I'm going past, and I can drop them off on the way to the run. Easy. And what that means is 100% of our soft plastics gets recycled, which is what you want. Now the key thing is this: I know that environmentally that's a better thing, and that's big, and that's a big reason to do that. But what I'm saying is, the mindset that you have to recycle as much as you can, that emanates and reverberates through so many other facets of your life where you start doing better things. I've started to become financially comfortable a little while ago, and I'm absolutely sure that becoming financially comfortable or the mindset that got me there, and the mindset that focused on household waste and recycling, they're interlinked, they're inextricably linked. So focusing on recycling your soft plastics, I think puts you in a way better mindset when you start to think about other things, wasteful things in the household. So you start to reduce waste. So again, if you like the idea of being a minimalist, so having some nice stuff, but not too much nice stuff. I mean, that's the definition of too much, right? It's more than, not just more than you need, but just more, just too much. Yeah, I know. I've gone around in a bit of a circle with that one. So if you're looking at going down that pathway of being a minimalist, that saves a lot of money. As I say, it's not about going without, it's going with just enough, not too much. And a measure that I have for people is if you can't fit your car in your garage, if you've got a car in a garage, because you've got a whole bunch of stuff in the garage, you've got too much. Unless that garage is your side hustle, as a business on the side, and you've set it up as a mini industry in your garage, great. But if it's just full of stuff, and a lot of that stuff doesn't get touched week in, week out, obviously too much. So going back to the soft plastics and the mindset. With the mindset then, what you tend to do is you tend to just take that lens of, are we doing too much? Have we got too much? Are we spending too much? And you apply it over everything. When your insurance comes up, is it the right insurance? Are we buying too much insurance? Not saying you should cut down on your insurance. What I'm saying is the mindset means you check these things. When your apps come up that you're paying for, streaming services, all of these things that you pay for, you just put them under the lens of, are we really getting value for that? And what you find is those savings you make, when you start to go, nah, turning that off, turning that off, turning that off, not only does it free up your time to do those things you probably more want to do, because if you're not getting value out of using those services, it's because you're paying more for them as opposed to the value you're getting out of them. So easier to shut off. So shutting off all those things frees up a little bit more time. So not just cash, but time. And these things become cumulative. It's almost like compound interest. Once you start chipping away at a few things, you get these big changes happening. And of course, any money or any time you free up, that time you can reinvest, and you can choose how to reinvest that in your own life, whether it is that side hustle that you wanted to start, or more time with family, and the money you save. Those things, you can start to ask questions, where shall I put that money that I'm saving now? And you might divert it to something like an investment, which is where my world where things started to change there. And I just invest more and more and get fairly aggressive with that. And investments, I mean, that's a bit of a dark art too, where you put your money, and I'm not going to talk about that in this video. There's other videos where I've talked about what I've done. But that all comes from the mindset of just reduction of waste. Stuff that you don't need. And that's what too much is. When you've got more than what you need. And I think people mix the two together. They think minimalism means going without. No, you've got enough pairs of shoes, but just enough. And because you haven't got an excessive amount, you've got some nice ones. You've bought shoes that last a long time, have a small impact on the environment, you like them. And that goes for everything. Anyway, soft plastics. So, about to recycle those. Now, hold on. You're going to say to me, is it better though to be buying things without? The packaging is not a soft plastic. Absolutely, if you can do that. But I suppose if you break things into three parts, or three categories. So products packaging. Products with packaging you can't recycle. Products with packaging you can recycle. And products with no packaging, that's best. Products with no packaging. But if you have to buy a product and it comes in packaging, choose one that you can at least recycle locally as part of your recycle scheme. Put it through there. And here's the final point, make the recycling easy for yourself. So for us, having that bag, which you just saw, this thing, having that bag that contains all your soft plastic packaging, so you're taking the pressure off yourself to having to go back to the supermarket or wherever the drop-off point is too frequently, and having the bag capture it and going when it suits you means two things. One, you're more likely to recycle it because it's at your convenience. And two, of course, then you're not throwing it out. It's not becoming part of your household waste all the time. Because it's not convenient, then it goes into the waste. So have processes within your home that makes it convenient, makes it easy. That's what it's all about. All right, that's it. Catch up with the next one. You know what these videos are about. They're all about making life easier, more simple. Those are slightly different things. And improving performance. Catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.